Hi, everybody. I apologize for being about 5 minutes late today. I have been working, of course, on e-learning with my class and doing all sorts of things with that. And before I knew it, it was 50 and I had not put on my makeup. I had not any of that. So I had to quickly get ready because I was like, nobody wants to see me without some makeup and my lipstick on. So, welcome to another lesson. I'm ready to get started on, and I am going to teach you again about, the other day I taught you about plot, and I said that plot has a definite, let me write that out for you again. Okay, so I told you that plot has a definite structure that it follows. Let me draw my hill again. So at the top is the most intense part. That's going to be the climax. And then over here, we have something that is known as the rising action. And over here, we have the so the rising action is where the problem is presented and the main characters are moving forward in the plot. They're telling the story that we are actively hearing until we reach the climax, which is the most intense part. It is before we go over the top of that roller coaster hill. And as we fall down, we get the falling action where loose ends start to be tied up down here to the resolution. So, just as a reminder, there is my plot outline for you. But today I'm going to talk to you about a very specific text structure. And there are many different text structures in nonfiction text. You may see, and we have already seen that in several cases, you may see what are known as, title and then subheadings or subtitles. Both terms are correct, subheading or subtitle. They are interchangeable, meaning you can use them back and forth. This is another structure that we are going to talk about and find out how one leads into another in a sequence of events. And that is cause and effect. It is a beautiful day here in far southern Indiana, down here in the Louisville metro. So I drew a sun and some clouds. There are a few clouds in the sky out there, but after 2 cloudy and chilly days around here, it again is back to normal temperatures here in the low to mid 60s. So it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. And I drew that on my board to show you. So my text today, actually, we are going to do a paired text today and then continue tomorrow. We're going to do the activity we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to compare and contrast. So there is a hint about tomorrow. The text I used today and another version, a similar version tomorrow. So I think I may have just realized. I just realized my necklace is on backwards. So I'll try to fix that while I continue to talk to you. That's what happens when you try to get ready super fast. So anyway, the text that I am using today and also the text that I'm using tomorrow, both are going to be what some people may know as fractured fairy tales, meaning they are versions that an author has written of a well-known story that, there we go, much better. They are versions of a well-known story that you may be able to tell by heart in a summary without looking at a book, but there are going to be some marked differences. So the text I'm using today is one that I really enjoy teaching within my class because it also uses some words in Spanish. And when I was in high school and college, I took Spanish. And am I fluent? Oh, heck no. I am not fluent in Spanish. But do I know enough that whenever my husband and I went to Spain about 7.5 years ago, that I was able to talk to some people, even though many of them spoke English? Yeah, I could. So I enjoy that. And I also enjoy reading words in Spanish still and teaching my kids some words. So this is rubia and the three osos. Rubia means blonde, blonde hair, blondie. And the three osos. Oso in Espanol, bear. So this is written by Susan Middleton Elia, illustrated by Melissa Sweet. Rubia and the three osos. Rubia y los tres osos in Espanol. So we're going to look for some differences definitely in our text here compared to the original of the Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Once there were three osos who lived by themselves. They stored their 3 platos for soup on the shelves. Platos for soup? What do you think that could be? But one night at supper, la sopa prepared, the soup. The soup platos ladled, the chairs derriered. Your derriere is a fancy word for your bottom. Mama said, let's go for a walk before dinner. It's part of my Southwoods plan, so I'll be thinner. Southwoods plan? Maybe you've heard or seen on TV about the South Beach diet, the Southwoods diet. Papa rolled his eyes, but he still nodded. See, yes. Baby, pushed his cubby car after them. Whee! They headed away, but the door wasn't locked. Then who should come over? So daintily frocked. Daintily means beautifully. Kind of I think of as a princess. And to be frocked means to be clothed. Little Miss Rubia, curls made of oro, curls made of gold. A tiny casita, a little house for me? La adoro. I love it. I adore it. She opened la puerta, the door, and saw the fine food. Sopa, she said, I am so in the mood. The big bowl was steaming, caliente, too hot. The middle one, frio. What else have they got? Caliente, too hot. What is the opposite? Too cold. Mucho frío. Eso! This one. She spotted the tiniest bowl. Perfecto! She blurted, then drank it up whole. Perfect. Notice that some of these words are very similar. Perfect. Suave, but it wouldn't do. The tiny one great, till she broke it in two. So there are some similarities, definitely. We talked about in the original story, it's porridge. In this case, la sopa, soup. In the original story, chairs. Here, in this one, chairs also. The soup made her sleepy. She headed upstairs. Oh, the original, she goes to bed, right? She found las tres camas, the 3 beds, for all of the bears. La grande, the big one, was hard. The middle one, soft. But there was a little bed up in the loft. The small one was buena, very good. So that's where she lay. Muy buena. Then here came Papa, Mama, and Bebe. They opened the door and noticed la mesa, the table, where one bowl sat empty. Bebe said sorpresa. Baby said surprise. Sorpresa sounds a lot like surprise. Mi sopa, he yelled. He started to cry. They didn't just eat it, they licked the bowl dry. This book also is in a rhyme format. Next week, hold that thought. We might be talking some about rhyme. Oh, Mama saw his Sia. Oh, what have they done? Grrr, Papa growled in anger. The perp better run. The perp, short for perpetrator. The person that did this, the person that broke our property. Just then little Rubia sat up in the bed. This home isn't mine. It's for those guys instead. She dashed for the window and jumped to a tree. Soon she was chased by the angry bears 3. They ran right behind her, but she had good speed. The girl got away. My question is, do you think that she feels bad about doing what she did? She broke the law. She broke in someone else's home. That's not okay. But then she did a good deed. Look, sequence. First, next, then last. What do you think she's doing? So she knows that she ate Bebe Sopa. Maybe she realizes her misdeed. She realizes the poor choice she made. She came back with Sopa along with some glue. Lo siento, she said, especially to you. Lo siento. I'm sorry. She served Bebe soup and helped patch his silla. Then gave him a ride in his cub, Carretilla, his little car. Stay, said Mama. She needed some masa, some dough. Si, said Papa. Our house es tu casa. Our house is your house. Our house is your home. Have you ever heard that saying? My house is your house. So our house es tu casa. Rubia felt love from the family Oso, and having their friendship was great. Fabuloso. Fabuloso in Espanol or in Inglés, fabulous. Just like perfecto, sounds very similar. Not all Spanish words are very similar, as you can see. Some you have to put in your prior knowledge, like I talked to you about. I had to enter oso in my prior knowledge, y la silla in my prior knowledge, y las camas, beds. Words like that are stuck here, and hopefully they'll be stuck there forever. And then at the end is a glossary for if you were not sure the pronunciation and what some of the words were. Here they are. So, similarities with the normal text, the one that you might be able to tell and remember, but definitely some marked differences too. So now, this is what I want you to do. And I should have already told you, I apologize. If you need blank paper and a pencil, but I know normally I say, notebook paper, whiteboard, whatever is fine. If you have blank computer paper, that's probably going to be your best bet for today. Okay. So let me show you what we're going to do. Whoops. And I need to tell you a little bit of a story. So a little while ago, I was thinking about us making like an origami paper chain. And I cut through probably about 7 or 8 pieces of paper because I kept doing it and then it would just fall apart. So I gave up because I'm like, I don't want to mess this up when I'm going live because people are going to think if they don't already think that I'm crazy or borderline crazy, they're definitely going to think that I'm crazy if it doesn't work. But again, If you have had me as a teacher before, this does not surprise you any. So you have a piece of paper. You are holding it horizontally. Some boys and girls like to call it, I don't know, like a hot dog or something. I don't call it that. Hold it long ways, or horizontally, long ways like this. So now you're going to fold it in half. Make sure that you make your good crease. So you have a paper that looks like this. Then you're going to fold it over again, like so. And then I would like for you to fold it one more time, like so. So you end up with a little rectangle. But watch what happens when I open it. I now have 8 perfect little sections. So we are going to find out how one cause leads to an effect, but that effect can quickly become a cause for the next place in our story. So as our story continues, the cause and effects just build and build and build, and one becomes the next, and the next becomes the next. And before you know it, you have all of your causes and effects that have become a sequence in your text. So watch what I do. I'm going to take my state of Kentucky because I told you at the very beginning of me doing these lessons, I wore a Louisville t-shirt. I said I'm a huge University of Louisville fan, living about 15 minutes from campus where I do. But I also want to put it up here because in this area, every day we are getting messages at 5 o'clock in the afternoon from Kentucky's governor, Andy Beshear. And I love the little heart that's on it for not only the state of Kentucky, but those of us here in Southern Indiana that listen to him. He is warming our hearts. He's telling us that things are going to be okay. So that little heart right there reminds me of Kentucky's governor right now and making sure that we are staying safe. So now that you have your sections, I am going to start in this first box here. And I am probably going to use a dark colored marker here that I have. Something that will show up well. I wonder if my red will show up since I have red. Try to push this in a little bit more. So I am going, my first box, let's see what that looks like. It's a little bit hard to see, but that's okay. So in my first box, I am going to write cause and then effect. Okay. So here is my cause. Oh, sorry. I should have said the effect is going to go over here. So my first cause is going to be the first really big event that happens here. So I would say the first event is the 3 osos went for a walk, right? So let's start there. And I'm going to try to leave some room here. I have 3. I'm going to try to push this in a little bit more. 3 osos go for a walk. And then down here, I have room to write draw a little picture if I want to show that. Okay, so here they are. They're on a pathway. There's little baby. If you want to draw their ears, you can do that. Does this have to be a perfect drawing? No, not at all. I tell my boys and girls, take about a minute if you want for each drawing. That's all you need. At the end, if you want to color it, go back and work more on it on your own time, go for it. But if you're just doing this little by little, this is all that you need to do, okay? So the 3 osos go for a walk. The effect of that was Rubia breaks in. So if I wanted, I could draw her. And I could draw her hair. And that probably won't show up. So there's Rubia with her yellow hair. But now, this effect is going to become my next cause. Okay? So I now, next to it, am going to draw an arrow and say that next to it, it becomes a cause. So, and I draw my arrow to show that we're moving forward. So Rubia breaks in. That becomes my next cause. Well, then my next effect is she, and we aren't going to have room to draw all of the things that she does, but I could summarize it and I could say, okay, we know that she ate la sopa. We know that she broke la silla. We know that she slept in la cama, right? So we could say Rubia makes herself at home. I think she does. So that's when you could draw a picture of her maybe sleeping in the bed. And again, is this perfect? Nope. Okay, so there she is. She's sleeping in the bed. But this effect becomes the next cause. So she makes herself at home, and then guess what she does? Or what happens next? The bears come home and get mad. So the effect is Ruby makes herself at home. That becomes the cause of the bears getting mad. The osos get angry. So then I could draw, oh, I forgot to number these. So now I can draw my bears again. They're home. And you could draw something broken if you wanted. Or la sopa that is empty. There's my little empty bowl next to it to show that something bad has happened. So then this becomes the next, okay, effect, cause. So now I have this effect here for number 5. And so the osos get angry. So what does Rubia do? She runs away, right? So you could have her running away. You could have the bears chasing her. I think she jumped out of the window or whatever. Now, what happens if you don't remember the text? What have I said over and over and over again? You should always what? Pick it up and open it again. Bingo. There is no rule that on this book written in big letters that says you may read this text one time and one time only and you may never open it again. No, the words are there. Open it. If you need to, re-watch the video. Watch it again. It's there. Okay, so Rubia runs away, and then here are the bears chasing her. So that effect becomes, we know, the next cause. So she runs away, and then what does Rubia do? Well, we know, whoops. that Rubia goes home to make la sopa. So she goes home to make la sopa. She makes some soup to make up for the one that she messed up because she said, I made a very poor choice and I need to fix this. So here she is. And maybe you can have her with a bowl of soup and it's steaming. So she goes home to make, oh, I forgot my punctuation mark. Can't forget that. So she goes home and makes la sopa. Well, guess what? So we know that we have this effect becomes the cause for this. And then we have another effect. So all of these cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect. So the effect of this is Rubia delivers la sopa to los osos, to the bears. So she makes the soup and then she delivers the soup. So we're working in a sequence that is cause and effect, and one thing leads to the other. Sometimes boys and girls think cause and effect is something that is very, very hard, and it's not. You have that prior knowledge of cause and effect already. Maybe you just didn't realize it. It's here. If you can retell a story, one thing leads to the other all the time. So, Rubia delivers la sopa to los osos. So here she is with her sopa. Here are the beans. Need to draw her hair. And then the steaming sopa. And so then we know this becomes the next cause. And the effect of that is where we have ended up. And Rubia and los osos become friends. So I'm going to draw them all again. And again, you can go back, add to it. There they are. And that's the end. So, my challenge for you is to take a text that you know well or something that you are reading at home. I want you to do one of these cause and effect drawing and sequence charts at home on your own. I would love to see what you're doing. Please post it to me. Take pictures of it because we are all in this together. And my hope is by doing this every day, 5 days a week, that it's going to help at least a few boys and girls out there. Please, please continue to share this. Pass the word along. I just want people to keep learning. And I hope that you are. So until tomorrow, I will say toodle poodles. Goodbye. Toodle. Keep reading. I'm not playing with you. Keep reading.